Immigration and the living conditions of immigrants was a huge part of why we cultivated better social programs, though they weren't always beneficial to the most needy populations. The huge increase in immigrant populations and the rush for work opportunity in urban areas led to masses of immigrants living in squalor. Industrialization was the biggest catalyst for social reform because of terrible working conditions. Today we take for granted decent regulations, but in the early 1900s, regulations on working conditions were sparse. We didn't ban child labor until 1916. Due to the high rate of industrial accidents during the beginning of the 1900s, there was a huge increase in unionization of workers. In 1905, we created the Industrial Workers of the World. Despite some noticeable drawbacks, there were some really integral reforms in the Progressive Era. Most notably, we established social work as a profession and created educational programs for social workers, and we established juvenile courts so that children would not be tried as adults. Another notable reform during this era was the health care reform. We paid attention to local public health centers, and the American Medical Association suggested that we switch to universal health care because of poor health care provided to the public. However, despite these forward movements in social reform, there were many drawbacks to progress. A lot of it relied on bias against poor communities and immigrants. A lot of it had to do with unskilled workers being the victims of. Despite social reforms, there were many types of oppression in the Progressive Era. Women, immigrants, ethnic communities, the poor, and unskilled laborers were all oppressed by the general society and seen as undeserving.